Ciao, Matt. I'm gonna do my best not to speak Italian to you. But like, before we were going live, I was just like, I was about to say something e te lo stavo per dire in italiano, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. This is we can keep it like Italian English. Is there something? How do we say? There's Spanglish, Franglish. Is there
It's
Italian?
English. Yeah, it's
Itanglish?
English. Sometimes I don't think it's used, but it's probably Spanglish is used more than that.
Yeah, Spanglish for sure, but I bet like Itanglish. Let me look this up.
I think it's English. I believe it's that.
Let's see. Itanglese. It exists.
No, it's just yeah. Yeah, this is like
Itanglese.
always how I talk to some of my friends. Now I'm just thinking in it's English, not in Italian or English anymore. It's just a mix of that, and sometimes I don't even find the words in my own language.
Itanglish. Yeah, I guess I can add this to the languages that I speak. This is great.
Yeah,
Well,
looks good on the CV.
right. Well, we're gonna have a Tanglish stream today, but I have to say, like, there's a lot of Italians in crypto. It took me a while to find the Italian community, just because when I entered, it's always been from the English speaking side of things. I guess more from the West, like the States and so on. Not that, and I'm like fully European, but it took me a while to really find the Italians, and I'm glad I did because now that I found one, and then suddenly it's like there's two, and there's three, and there's a whole community, and suddenly there's Eat Milano, and it's a really cool. It's a super cool. You know, conference that's happening in Milan. And there again, I got to meet so many more Italians, and I realized, like, oh, I need to be with my people. It's cool to to speak many languages, but I think there's something that speaking your mother tongue and being with your people, it's something special. And yeah, I prefer speaking in
Yeah,
Italian. Honestly, it's my
the
favorite language.
warmth of your language is just the warmth of Italian. It is
It's
what it is.
100%. It's way more fun. And I feel it as well, like within, and this is something that, also when you work in a very international industry, doing business with people from your own country is always special. I feel like whenever I speak to Italian, it's like so easy. It flows, you know, there's instantly like a connection that is something that cannot be replicated with, I think, people from others, or at least I found. Even French people, like I'm Belgian, and I don't really have this with Belgians, but with Italians, it's like we're family. We're here, so yeah. So I look forward to Eat Milano. It was so fun last year, and I know you're part of the organization with Ale and Mati and everyone else, and you guys did like such an amazing job last year. So how did that get started, by the way? Like, how did you get involved with Milano?
I believe it all comes back to a community I had back in. I started it in the beginning of 2021. I scaled it with my co-founder and our community manager. We built it up, and then we basically sold it. But in the meantime, we got involved.
Is it me? I think I
Oh
lost
yeah,
you.
it was me. It was me.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because I know Davide Fiber really well. I had this community that is scaled up with my uh, with with my co-founder and another guy that was doing community management. Um, and so basically, we got in touch. We helped out a little bit as media partners and in general to bring people in. And then last year, after well, I think we'll talk about it later, but I got laid off and at the beginning of 2025, and so I said, okay, let me do something meaningful also whilst I'm searching for something to do full time. And I started working with the organization, and it came natural to me to involve communities, medias, etc. We also brought in the Daily Degen, which is one of the largest newsletter in the crypto space, and many other new medias that we didn't touch before. And it's was a success because there was lots of people that was interested in the intern persona, something that really felt different and more CT friendly, and also the concept of the DeFi mafia, something that me, Davide, and other guys that are building in DeFi, that are Italian, sort of brought in as a cult, and that also the milady loved it, and so we also had some miladies coming around and that spoke actually at the conference as well. So yeah, the vibe was very city friendly, also with the leaderboard cookie, but like very, very, very warm as an environment, also for non-English speaking people. We also had Arbitrum. Lots of things happened last year that made lots of people raise their eyebrows around this conference and made it basically the biggest one in Southern Europe.
I mean, it was so fun. I remember like the thing is that you're in Milan, like there's so many nice rooftops, like that the vibe is gonna be it's gonna be nice, right? And you get to meet more Italians, which is always fun. I mean, even if you're not an Italian speaker, like being around Italians is always amazing and always a vibe. Like there's no way you're gonna have a bad time when you're in Italians. Like that's just a fact. By the way, what's
Yeah.
up, Hilson? How's it going? And hi to Max. Love to see you guys in the chat. You mentioned that you sold a community. How does that one? How does one do that? Like, how does one get to sell a community?
It's probably a thing of its kind because you're not actually selling an enterprise. Let's say that you say like a conventional exit where you basically sell an activity, a business. In this case, we basically sold the branding, the various channels, and all the kind of, let's say, intangible assets we had, while we kept some things that were our own for ourselves, but it's just the way it is. If it's not incorporated in the way that you should traditionally do for a company. But it was something that came up while me and my co-founder were thinking about our future. We saw the community itself not being part of our future, not at least in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. So we said, okay, what should we do? Should we just let it die, or try to find someone that can take care of it and also get involved a little bit in making the transition go smoothly? Something that didn't happen, unfortunately. I'm very sad for this because we didn't put like sweat and tears. I was studying also in the
What
meantime, so I was like
what happened?
12 years. That's just died. Basically, no one took care of it because no one wanted to handle this. And I was, I put like probably 12 hours a day between study and the community, so it was really tough for me to even try to keep up with it. So it was really tough, and plus my co-founder was starting to work in private equity, so it was really busy. And yeah, it is what it is. But at the end, we sold it. Was very interesting the way we did, because we were trying
Yeah,
to find a solution.
how did the process of like selling and making that deal, because obviously as you're not, you're a digital community, you guys were, I would assume, in Discord or on a Telegram, there's no like legal entity attached to it. Like how does one sell that? And I'm sure this can be useful because there's many communities that
Mhm.
are very valuable and potentially also like looking for an exit, or other people on the other side interested in acquiring that. So how does that work? Like what's the best practice like you would give to people for this
Yeah,
process?
it is always back to doing, like, there's still some paperwork involved with this. There are declaration also to the government to do stuff if you want to clean it, to do it a clean way, of course, like without committing crimes. You have to sign contracts, you have to issue invoices. this and that, and you have to pay taxes on it. You can't escape that if you don't want to get incriminated, let's say, or at least be a legit guy. Basically, just long story short, we were in Paris for ECC. I met up with a friend of mine that was running a project under Web3 software house, and we were talking about the struggles we were having, and he said, "Okay, let's see if we can make a deal." We At the end we struck a deal. We basically saw value in what they were proposing, and we decided to exit, to sign everything, to have everything done. You just pass on everything that you have, on socials, on branding material, etc. You just basically, your intellectual property get transferred to someone else,
But you
let's say.
didn't
So
you
it's a
didn't
little more
stay
lightweight.
but you didn't stay active in the community, as in like you just took what you had and handed it over, and they basically would take care of it without you as a founder and community leader, and your partner, right?
Somewhat, because we remained there for a few months. At least myself, I was employed by them for a while, and there was no real um, no real interest on their side to keep this thing going. And so at a certain point, they said, "Okay, look, guys, I'm just gonna finish my university and do my own stuff. I'm out." But still, like, it wasn't something I really liked. Let's say, to leave the community die on its own. It was tough also to sell it, because we were basically valuing it probably more than we should have had, because you get attached to
It's
these things. We built
it's
it
normal.
for.
It's your baby. And there's something
Yeah.
with communities, it's people. Like it's people which makes
Yeah.
it so valuable. It's those relationships that you form which are priceless at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I still talk to some of our ex community members to this day. We have a small group chat with all the lads that are still talking with us, etc. Sometimes, even when we launch X Points with xStocks, like, I shared it with them. Like, we're almost friends. We shared many moments together. Also, these downturns and uptrends in the market, bring people closer together in their circles. So it's sort of, a safe place for us to talk with the guys we have been talking for years now.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like the kind of relationships that you form with online friends sometimes are can be deeper in some kind of way and like very intimate, even if you've never met. Than most of the people that you have around. It's just like a different dynamic, I think. Like, and I mean, if we're all here, obviously most of us do enjoy having this digital life, and I do. Like, we are also in an era where we're looking at younger generations coming, and for them this is second nature. Like digital life is just part of life. Well, I think we've also had like the transition in some kind of ways, or at least for most. I used to not play like video games and so on, like back in the days, but yeah, I wanted to also like go back to, and I'm gonna do my best not to call it StockX, but like it's X stocks.
It's funny. I did call it a couple of times like that when, not on purpose. When I was in the, I was writing stuff in the process of the interviews and stuff. It was really hilarious, and also like some of my friends, like, confusing it. Especially because most of my friends, like, in my closest circle here in Milan, are not, crypto natives. So the initially was a struggle to make them say it correctly, but I didn't want to point them out, that, because you can somewhat sound rude, but it's not a problem at the end of the day.
It's memorable. I think most people know StockX, which makes the word easy to remember. X stocks. So simple. Like you already have it in the back of your head. It's not sneakers, it's stocks on chain. You know what I mean? Like
You can still
RWA.
trade something.
Yeah, you
You're
can
still
still
trading
trade stuff.
something.
Exactly. Same, just different assets. Different assets. And so how like you're running BD. I know you told me like you're running on-chain BD at not StockX, xStocks. How did you get there? And also, what are the I always wonder like how does one get into a role, and how is that transition for you? Obviously, managing a community, trying to juggle things like you were studying, and obviously I know that you've had some other position in between, and then ending up in one of the hottest companies right now in crypto and TradFi. Let's say it is there's a big conversion there. Like what was the journey there? Because I know that there's a lot of people right now that are looking for jobs or are looking for career progressions, and the career progression in crypto isn't very linear as it is in other industries. So it's always useful to talk about people's experience and what they did and what worked for them. I'm sure that this can inspire a lot of people, and it's really through personal experience that we can learn. I hope this also, like when I run my streams, I want this to be helpful for people, so that there's always like something positive that people can take away and learn, and maybe if they want to connect with you as well, they can. But yeah, I'm just curious on like how did you end up working for xStocks? Like what's the story?
It all comes back to the DeFi mafia because we have a few group chats, me and the lads, some other people that associate half Italian or something like that. And I had this friend of mine, now a friend of mine because I didn't know him at first, called Leo. And he reached out on the group chat saying like, we're searching for a BD next stocks. And I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, I didn't know that well xStocks. I heard about it, but I was unfamiliar, so I started digging into it. I texted him, and I ended up discovering that this guy was basically working on risk. That is an option protocol, very cool, that I really like a lot. That my friends Dan and G built, and basically I got a good word. Let just make it quick. I got a good word by Dan, that he told Leo I was a good professional. I got multiple interviews with the founders and the head of growth of Backed Finance, that now is part of Kraken. The other half of xStocks, and basically, I got hired after also meeting up with one of them in Milan for the last interview. And I'm really grateful to both Leo and Dan for this. And I really believe that if you find genuine connections in this space and you behave transparently and truthfully to the person you are, you're gonna find someone that shares your own values, the same values you have, and that is gonna help you one day. Because I helped lots of people. I give also some help with Dan in testing some stuff on risk. Give him some of my thoughts on some of the stuff they were developing without expecting anything in return. And I think I'm doing good because I've always been happy to help others. I had also like a guy this morning that I had a chat with that wanted to apply, that applied for a position in xStocks, that just wanted to know a little bit how was the company in itself, how we operate. So
It's
was
always
cool to
better
share
to
this as well.
Yeah, it's always better to like reach out and have a chat with people and get yourself known. I think it will always be more impactful than receiving an application letter from someone you don't know. And even if it's not someone you've known for an extended period of time, just remembering that you can just reach out and get on a quick call, and that will also be like a touch base. I was wondering, for especially in crypto, do you think your network is more important than your CV to if you want to find a job in crypto?
Somewhat. I mean, it depends on how is like what's your persona, because in some instances you just have to be, for example, in dev you have to be a good developer and being in a few decent companies and you can score big. Sometimes you have to find yourself in the right place at the right moment. Sometimes you have friends helping you. I mean, like, being able to build across different fields in life definitely helps you a lot. I believe I did well in my journey with, connections, being connected to lots of people, making lots of friends, and giving them like a hand when they need it. So I had a hand back from them when I needed it.
Right.
And also, doing stuff for people for free, helping out, putting yourself in, let's say, also uncomfortable position outside of your comfort zone, to do stuff you've never done, or for people that you've never worked with, to attract their attention. So just being proactive, being like truthful, and helping others pays off in the long term. And also, of course, if you worked at, for example, let's say Circle, you're gonna get probably hired in a good company,
Yeah, I mean
but
that
it's
makes sense. You
not.
definitely have a pedigree at that point. But I want to bring up this tweet that I remember passing on the timeline, and it's from Brian Armstrong saying that basically most of the best hires that they had at Coinbase were unqualified. And I think this is like, but on paper, right? But in energy, in alignment, in attitude towards work and the company, they were overqualified, and they really worked, hard and proved themselves, even though they didn't have that CV in order. Which I think it's the beauty of crypto. There's a lot of opportunities here because people get given chances, but you also, if you're looking for a job, you get the chance to prove yourself without, just by being active, like you were saying, be on the timeline, testing stuff, being, participating in the company, to the point where you get noticed and you can actually have a chance of getting a job. I think it's really cool, especially in this market. I mean, I'm seeing in the chat, Hilson is saying that the market's very brutal, surviving basically. Yeah, it's definitely not what it used to be. And yeah, if you guys are struggling, or if you're looking for, a position full time, this is definitely something that you can look into. And there's ways to grow your brand and make yourself be seen and make yourself useful to a company, to the point where they want to hire you. I think there's still opportunities every day. I see job posting and so on. You just have to really get yourself out there and believe that you can get it. And network. Make sure that you network. What's your outlook on the market for the next like year or so? Especially, I mean, from your perspective, like, since you guys are, at a very interesting position. Like, you've been, xStocks has been acquired by Kraken. And maybe before we get into the conversation, can you explain in a easy way what xStocks does exactly? Like, what do you guys do for the people in the audience?
What xStocks does is bringing Wall Street on chain 24/7 for everyone to get access to it through the.
I think you cut off.
Yeah, here I am.
No, right.
To the what xStocks is basically bringing Wall Street on chain 24/7, programmable. You can access to US stocks anywhere in the world on every platform. And we are basically the tokenization engine for US listed equities. So, what we want to build is an open framework for people to get access to US stocks wherever they are, on whatever chain they're operating on, and whatever exchange they're using. So this is about it. xStocks is trying to bridge TradFi and DeFi in a very um,
And ETFs, I see here. I think you're
we're
cutting
trying
off.
to build a very open framework for everyone, and I believe that we're doing it with partners like One Inch, with Jupiter, with Solana, and many others that are helping us in creating building this basically.
Here's a question from the chat. How does it work technically when the market is closed, since it's 24/7 trading?
It is 24/7 in the sense that you can always trade xStocks in DeFi, and you can also trade it on Kraken and Bybit. You have market makers, for example, on RFQs like One Inch or Jupiter or Camino Swap, always filling orders because they have an inventory basically. And also there are AMM pools on Radium and other decentralized exchanges, and you can always trade them. You can go always buy stocks in the weekend, tokenized stocks in the weekend, and sell them in the weekend.
How are the fees on that? Because I would assume it's not the same liquidity coming through, right? Like how does that work for a trader?
It works that the spreads, if you're operating on an RFQ protocol like One Inch or Camino Swap or Jupsi, are a little wider
Mm.
in the weekends. But at the same time, I traded a little bit during weekends on.
You're cutting off a bit. By the way, what's up, Mr. Fuocherello? Are you Italian? We have an Italian. I think it's probably Italian in the chat. We're all Italians here, by the way. Matt is also, well, you can probably hear, but anch'io siamo tutti
Really good.
Italiani. Matt, you cut off a bit, but I was saying that we have an Italian, I think, in the chat.
Yeah, I heard.
Mr. Fuocherello.
Hello.
Hi guys. Yeah, so because obviously you're not gonna have the same experience when the market is actually open. So yeah, you have to. How does that work? Like, you have to be. Is there a way to check how much it's going to impact the price if you're trading after hours?
Makers.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they decide basically the spreads on RFQ protocols, but it's still you can still trade on dexes, on AMMs. But hey, Toxic,
It's
yeah,
toxic, yeah. Mr.
Toxic
Fuocherello.
is really famous on CT. That guy, yeah, and I saw that he's Italian as well. I chat with him a few times. What's up, man?
There's a lot of hidden Italians. I was just added into a Italian cabal chat. I spammed our stream. That's why. That's how I came. Well, thanks for coming. Such a funny name. Okay, like really interesting. And in terms of, I mean, it's funny. It really seems like TradFi is moving not just on chain, but towards crypto, in the sense that they're looking to introduce not 24/7, but 24/7 during, or like 24/5. I don't know how you would call that. Just continuous
around the clock trading, you mean?
Continuous trading during the weekdays. And then also earnings will not have to be reported every quarter. It's going to be every 6 months. It really seems that we're going to be entering a degen era for TradFi. They're doing everything to really, I think that's like pump the market in some way, which is very exciting. Yeah, we have Max saying Italian representation in crypto is strong. It is. We're a bit hidden. Crypto Cosa Nostra.
Look at Tether. I mean, look at Tether.
Yeah, Italian cabal. That's indeed, we forget, but Italians are everywhere. And so you guys have a point system, right? That you just launched.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all hiding from the ad. Oh my god, yeah. And so this is for our airdrop farmers and point farmers. What is, like, you guys launched a xStocks point program? Can you walk me through it? Because I signed up, but I need more information on how to earn more points. What is it that someone's gonna get? Like, what's the reward for participating? Of course, you guys are backed by Kraken. You're owned by Kraken. There's a lot happening. What is this going to lead to? I'm gonna try to find my. Let me find it here. Yeah, can I connect my wallet? Let me see if I can connect my wallet because I'm on a different
In the
profile.
meantime, I can already answer to your question.
Yes, please.
I mean, X points is a way to track and reward our users. I mean, we've always had a very sticky user base. We, before even announcing X points, we were at around 80K users. I mean, holders of X stocks. So this is pretty telling about how much traction we have, especially on Solana, where we lead by far on tokenized stocks. And this system is basically born to track the how much you love your X stocks, basically, and also it is a way for users to see like their uh, let's say they contribute to the xstocks ecosystem by lending on Camino, for example, swapping into xstocks, holding xstocks on the long term, and also providing liquidity on multiple dexes like Orca, Radium, and others. And yeah, that's about it. Is a way to track and hopefully reward the ecosystem in the future. It's something that we did because I believe that there should have been a way to track this.
Okay, sick. So I'm not connected here, but what's up, Big Ben? Good to see you. I have a ref link. I just dropped it in the Twitch chat. It's also on the post. So if you want to check it out, use Hi Camski. You're gonna get a 20% point boost on top, which is a permanent. So sharing is caring. Use the
I
ref
under
link.
farm mine. I definitely under farm
You're
mine. I
part of the
didn't share it to
team.
anyone.
You're part of the
What? So
team.
what? And so what?
You guys should like.
I have a wallet. I trade and hold X stocks.
How does it work? How does it work when you're trading? When you're trading stocks, X stocks, do you? How does the dividend situation work? Is it like a CFD, or what? What is it? Because it's an RWA, right? Do you get? I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna say like you're gonna get voting rights for the stocks that you got, but like, how does the dividends situation work? Do they get distributed? Do you own the underlying asset? Um, Someone is saying, sorry, before we get into that, Mike is saying signature for Solana with Ledger doesn't work.
Yup, is a problem of Ledger on Solana. We're trying to do troubleshooting with the Ledger team, but unfortunately, it takes a little bit of time. I'm sorry for that, but it's not mainly a problem that directly affected us in the first place, as on the system we built. But
What's a way
yeah,
around it?
hopefully it will be solved soon.
What's a way around it? You just, I guess, connect with a different
Or with
wallet.
a hot wallet or anything. Because like I see that this is a pain point for users that want to hold X stocks for the long term. It is definitely something that we have really close to us. We have it at heart. So we're trying to solve this. So hopefully, we can do it in the coming days.
Oh, so it's gonna be resolved in a couple of days. It's not like
I
an
hope so. Yeah, the dev team is on it, but
okay,
we'll
sick.
see.
All right, sick. Yeah, Mike. So again, like if this isn't resolved in a couple of days, use a hot wallet for now, and then you can always, I guess, you can always transfer your xStocks from a hot wallet to your ledger afterwards. Is that
Yeah.
possible? Do you know?
Yeah, it's just transferring stocks themselves and then rebuilding your positions if you want to LP somewhere. Or unfortunately, if you get boosts and stuff, you cannot transfer your points. Let's say, but at the same time, you're gonna keep the points on a hot wallet as well. Hopefully, we can solve that though. Like it's really something we're working on.
And you mentioned LPing. Like, how does that work? Can I provide liquidity to certain stock pools? Is there,
Yeah,
yeah?
you can go on major dexes on Solana and provide liquidity, for example, for I don't know MicroStrategy X and USDC, and you're gonna have like earn points. Another thing you can do is leverage on Camino. You're gonna get leverage on the points as well because you're building up a bigger position, so your points will be multiplied. Let's say. So this is definitely doing leverage on Camino. If you're just point wise, is probably the best way right now to do it. We have multiple protocols that are coming soon that will be tracked with X points. So stay tuned for this if you use also other protocols for xstocks.
Yeah, Mike is asking when Avisor.
Yeah. Can't comment on that directly, but it's it will be hypocritical for me to not say we would like to see X stocks on Aave.
I
That
think
would be huge.
a lot of people would like to see X stocks on Aave. I'm
Oh yeah,
pretty
but
pretty
I
sure
bet.
about that. That would be awesome. And so what are okay? We talked about LPing. But I forgot. Let's go back to the question that I had regarding dividends. Like, how does it actually work? When you're basically trading X stocks, like, do you own the stock? Is it like a CFD where it's just um, you don't actually own the actual stock itself? Do you get dividends? Yeah, I was really curious about that.
Xbox acts as a right on the underlying USD value of the stocks that are represented. Of course, they are backed one to one with the underlying that is in a bankruptcy remote facility, so we cannot get access to it even if we went in bankruptcy. If this would ever happen, and you will always have the right to claim the underlying value of your positions. Dividends are redistributed to users, and they're redistributed via rebasing, similar to what stake DIF works for Lido on Ethereum. If we are talking about EVM, while on Solana we use Scaled UI to improve the real price of the stock without seeing that the price goes up when the dividend gets accrued, or there are stock splits and then you see like the price of the stock, the X stock that is double, for example, the real one. That happens with some of our competitors. So we redistribute them in this way on these blockchains.
Okay,
STRC is already live. STRCX is already live, man. Just go on Jupiter or wherever, also on Ethereum.
can I see it here on the? I'm looking here on this if I can find it. This is the list of all stocks that you have. Must have a ton.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we reached over 100 on Kraken alone.
Okay, sick. We have a question from Toxic, aka Mr. Focarello. Sorry in advance for the long question. I don't know xStocks very well, so it might be a stupid one. What happens if the price of an asset deviates significantly over the weekend because of low liquidity when the underlying asset isn't being traded? I understand that if this happens during the week, people could arbitrage, but what happens over the weekend when you cannot know the actual price?
xStocks can be redeemed 24/5. So basically, let's say if a market maker sees an opportunity to arbitrage that, they can even use it right after the minting and redemption phase goes live back again on Monday and capitalize on it. But as we saw with earnings, with major stock and traditional stock announcements, X stocks basically act sort of as prediction markets in the weekend, and most like I believe like 100% of the time their price over the weekend then fill the gap with the stock traded on traditional markets. So we saw that this is a very efficient system, and that there are no problems with market makers when they're active during weekends. They just widen the spreads a little bit, and they of course capitalize on the spreads and eventually on the arbitrage opportunities that create themselves during the weekend. I mean, you can be actually also smarter than market makers during the weekend, and leverage the fact that they continue giving quotes by basically betting on, let's say, uh, major stocks announcements in after hours while the weekend is coming around. Is a real opportunity, especially because X stocks are trading 24/7 also on Kraken and on Bybit.
Okay, that's sick. So, what other tips for trading stocks would you give to a newbie? Let's say, like, I want to get started. Um, what are the best opportunities? Like, on if there's any others than the one that you've let us know.
I'd focus on getting additional yield on my own holdings. So let's say that I'd like to have exposure to the S&P 500. I would just get SPYX. I'll deposit it in, for example, Piggy Bank. That is a partner protocol that is building arbitrage strategies and that lets you deposit in a vault SPYX and give you like a 4, 5, 6% APY, or where you can
Wait, I
also
think you're
leverage your
gonna.
position.
Sorry, Matt. You're gonna have to go over that again because you went robotic for a minute.
Oh, oh my God. Okay.
All good, all
So
good.
basically, let's say that you want to get exposure to the S&P 500. You can basically get SPX and deposit it on partners protocols like Pigbank, Fi, or Camino, and you can either leverage or deposit it on Vault and get some additional APY on top of it. Like I'm probably the worst trader ever. So I'm really like part of dumb money probably, but
You're you're
it is.
you're like totally robotic, right? Most of regular. So Matt is actually a humanoid, and this is his real voice.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it is. It
And
is.
see now you're
But
back to normal.
oh my God, what is happening here? Like I have the guy from the phone company coming by like in
It's the
I don't know when,
PFP.
but
It's the PFP. It is you're
that's
channeling your inner robot.
my spirit animal, my milady animal.
Yes, exactly. It's literally your PFP talking. Very, very appropriate. Mike is asking, how does the STRCX get paid out?
Like I said previously, with rebasing on EVM, or there is Scale UI that scales back the price on Solana, where you're accruing basically more STRCX on top of your position. That's how it works basically.
Okay, this is so exciting. Yeah, it's I mean it's interesting. Do you see a lot of adoption from like the non-crypto users coming in? Is this something that um I guess like crypto is very niche, but you definitely have a whole side of retail that has been used to trading stocks. For especially in the US, I guess with raw apps like Robinhood's that made it so easy for your average Joe to just like press the hit button and with a really easy and clean UX and UI. Um, like how are you guys like what is your target for xStocks? Like are you guys looking at retail? Are you focusing more on like more experienced seasoned traders like CT? Where does the volume come in? Because I can see there's here some pretty big numbers here. So yeah, I was curious about that.
So actually, the read effect that we are also on chain that caters to a very important piece of the crypto native folks. But at the same time, in the future, while we're building on top of xstocks, we will definitely see more interest also from family offices, from high net worth individuals that want to get exposure to DeFi yields on top of their stocks, or even uh, trade like long-term investors that want an additional yield on top of their assets, or want to do something that you can't do in the traditional finance system. So you can basically, something that you can do actually right now on Camino is to deposit your SPYX and get basically a loan on your position without having to sell it, something that with a traditional broker you can't do. And
Oh, so you
also,
can use your
it is easier in other parts of the world to get access to tokenized stocks than to traditional stocks. We are used in Europe and the US to have the stocks at one click distance from us, but like in some places like Asia, etc., it's just a nightmare to try and do the same.
right. I mean, it's really exciting that this is happening right now because I don't know if you guys remember, but like back in the days, and I have it here. One broker was there, and one broker actually let you trade stocks on chain. It was amazing, amazing times. And then the SEC came in and shut it down, basically. Yeah, Max, like one broker, those were the days. And back then it's like you had this moment of okay, we're putting stocks on chain, trading it, great, but the regulation obviously wasn't there, and I guess the SEC wasn't open to the idea. And here I'm reading here that yeah, they sued it basically. My God, yeah, it was too early.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Like when you have a great idea, timing is so important. Like you could have the best idea, but if your timing is wrong, it's as good as another. It's
Yeah,
as just
I,
as good
be,
as
I
a bad
believe
idea, really.
people underestimate good luck and like they underestimate good luck and overestimate bad luck. Timing is key, but you also have to have a little bit of luck when you're doing things. I'm actually reading The Psychology of Money. Never read it in my entire life, but I ran out of physical books to read, so I bought a Kindle for the first time, and I
Oh,
started
nice.
reading this, and this very like really opens your mind to what is really the actual way to not make money, but see the odds of life applied to money and business. So it's really interesting to see that, as for example, one broker, they were doing probably the right thing, but in a very bad moment, maybe also the execution wasn't the best, so they didn't scale, and
No, I
they
was
got sued.
honestly,
While
it
we
wasn't really
tried,
for them. It wasn't execution. It was just the SEC just went after them.
yeah.
They sued them
Yeah,
because
yeah, but you have to scale something. Otherwise, it just remains a good idea. That's also part of the timing. If you time well, also the execution, you have the right partners, you can scale.
I
Look
do
at
disagree.
what.
I have to disagree with you on this one because the landscape back then, back in 2017, was very different than it is now. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
so the
I
thing
agree
is,
on this.
they were operating in a really regulatory landscape that was not favorable to crypto. And if you look at here, like 600,000, like 614,000 BTC of volume on their leverage. This is massive.
Yeah,
This is
but no, 2017 wasn't that massive.
like
Just look back at how much was BTC worth back then.
I mean, it's still like a lot, and the thing is, they shut it down not because I don't think it's because they failed to execute, but because they were just like too ahead of their time, and back then,
I thought they launched after. No, but that's my bad. I thought they were that they weren't in 2017, but like more recently. But so that's
no,
my
no,
bad. I
they
don't know that.
basically they launched here in 2012, and they closed down unfortunately 2018 after getting sued. Yeah, I guess competing with traffic. At the end, the SEC is just protecting its own interests, right? And they saw someone come in and provide an alternative, and they didn't like it. Right now, it's different. Like crypto is integrating and it's converging totally towards traditional finance, and it's very interesting that we're finally seeing that. Yeah, BTC at 5K is still 3 billions in volume. Yeah, so
Interesting.
that's
Yeah.
like a lot of
Nice.
yeah, it's a lot of volume, which didn't obviously go through their preferred um,
But
platforms. And
was it like a centralized or something, or like the run by a centralized party? Because tokenization, 2017 either I really don't believe they were on Ethereum, because if it's BTC, it's probably pre, let's say, smart contract. Not pre smart contracts, but like not on a smart contract chain. So it's basically definitely custodial, let's say, approach.
I'm
But
not
yeah, I mean,
sure.
like, this is very interesting to see like 3 billion in volume.
Yeah,
That's
this
nice.
this is your grandpa. This is like this is the predecessor to xStocks, and these are the companies that paved the way. And like I think back then, like we would have never imagined that the landscape right now for crypto is where it's at. But I do think it's very interesting. And at the end of the day, like for just normal retail, having access to these assets is always like something that you want to have, and not necessarily having to go through like interactive brokers or these platforms, but being able to trade it directly from Kraken, or just any other platform is definitely something that I think a lot of people are going to start waking up to, that it's possible, and will jump on it. Since I do have a feeling the market's going to start heating up in a good way. Max is saying, yeah, BTC was just used as settlement, so I think there was some sort of custody. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder if they got
definitely.
to keep all that Bitcoin. It's kind of
And also, that definitely opens up for some scrutiny.
yeah. I wonder what happened to the team if they're still in crypto. Um, yeah. Here, illegal complaints by regulatory agencies. How does it work for you guys? In terms of like the legal aspect and so on. I mean, you have a partnership with Nasdaq, right?
Yep.
This is crazy. Like, if you think about it, we're looking at one broker here that got sued and shut down. And then, fast forward, like, you guys come up, and then let me bring up here let me bring this up. This is some crazy, like, contrast, like, how things change, right? Or is it okay? 1 inch. Where is it? I saw the post somewhere where
Yeah, a little below.
it's a bit
Yeah.
below, right? How did how
Yeah.
did it feel for you guys internally to announce this? Oh, there's a Forbes
Massive,
article.
massive. Like the team was really hyped up. I mean, like it will take time to build a framework with Nasdaq, but at the same time, the fact that we are the global distributor for them, and soon, also is circulating the news that Nasdaq will open to 24/7. It is massive.
Yeah,
It is massive, and we are happy to be part of this journey and to have a deep partnership with Nasdaq going forward.
that's so sick. That's insane. Insane that we're seeing this. Again, like looking back, these are, having a crypto company like this next to Nasdaq just on the same graphic was not something that I think any of us could have like imagined back in the day. So very, very, very cool. I know we've been live for quite some time. I just wanted to, circle back to the beginning of our conversation. You know, and I think, like obviously the landscape and the future of crypto is changing a lot. Like you're seeing it firsthand by working in one of the companies that is, really moving things and making a difference, and bringing stocks on chain, which has been definitely something that the community is really moving towards, and we're seeing a lot of appetite for stocks, especially given the crypto market is where it's at. I was wondering, like, what are other things that you see in your opinion that people shouldn't sleep on, or major trends in crypto, that people should pay attention to, if you have any?
Honestly, as I said, I'm not the best trader here, but I'm still feeling very excited about DeFi. I know that Layer Zero is building their own chain, so that's definitely something I'm keeping an eye on. So that's definitely interesting. Stable coins are becoming like huge. I don't even know if how close we are to the half a trillion mark in total stable coins outstanding, and that is massive. And the US is understanding that this is a way for them to impose the dollar even more. So yeah, I believe DeFi, stable coins, and new stuff that is really talking to the core of the fundamentals of finance is gonna play a big role in the future.
Yeah, I was. I think it was recently, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. I mean, Tether surpassed XRP and took the third spot in the biggest, like largest market cap in crypto. So we have
Also
now,
because XRP, I believe, was dumping, right?
I guess, I don't know, but we have
Are you an
Bitcoin.
XRP bull?
No, I guess I'm a profit maxi. I don't really, I don't really care.
Profit maxi. That's
Yeah,
that's that's a new thing to me. Like
yeah.
I'm losing maxi.
No,
I'm losing
don't
maxi.
say that. Don't say that. You have to manifest it for you. Your words are very powerful. Always speak highly of yourself, and things will come.
That's just
Um,
the truth. Why hide it so that people do not copy me when I say things?
well, I don't know. I prefer to stay very flexible and not get too attached. I think those days were have long gone. And if there's one thing that like I learned in crypto is to sell the airdrop, insta sell the airdrop. Don't get attached to things. It's good to be a community member of certain communities, but there's
Yeah.
always a point where attachment is gonna burn you. Um,
Yeah, I believe I sold the top of the Monad airdrop, for example,
mm,
the latest one I got. So I'm pretty happy. That's probably the best trade I did this cycle, just because everything else was so shitty that I didn't earn a dime. I lost money only. This cycle is crazy.
yeah, I mean it's been really rough. It's honestly been a tough cycle. Yeah, Mr. Fouquet, I know it was a little bit of a cringe moment there. I know I instantly felt it. Like, I'm like, let me This was like, yeah, let me put this screen on while I just hide in shame. Or like, but yes, XRP indeed and Profit Maxi. Like nobody should say that. Embarrassing moment. Mike is saying, is the process for in-kind share to token alpaca to on chain for personal accounts possible?
I give you some context on this because it's a bit niche, but it was an announcement made a few months ago. Basically, Alpaca is our trading desk and custodian, and the main one we have. And we enabled in-kind minting and redemption for KYB clients. So basically, you can, for example, give your Tesla to Alpaca, and we tokenize it and we send it to your wallet. Basically, that's how it works. Or and vice versa, of course, and it works only for KYB account with xStocks. So you can't do it if you are, you have a wallet, you have some Tesla X on your wallet. Doesn't really work that way, unfortunately.
All right. Sabrina. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I do feel like, when things get said a little bit too much, just becomes like, what is it that people used to say also like a few years back? Like, I feel like Profit Maxi that does fall into the wag me category at this point a little bit, since I don't know, until the
Yeah, Rick is also selling the about profit maxing, the the and WAGMI, the AI Anon project,
which one?
the Daniele Sesta project, the latest one he did, the DeFi project.
It brings a bell. What was that again? Defy, yeah, Defy.
Daniele Sesta, the one from Wonderland and Popsicle Finance.
No, but no, I don't know him, but I know
He's
the
a fellow
Defy.
Italian. How come?
I
He's
don't
a
know.
fellow Italian. You have
I
to
don't
know.
think I know him. What's his let's bring him up. What's the thing?
Search Daniele Sesta on Twitter.
Okay, let's see. Maybe I've met him. It's just like I'm good with faces,
I
but
don't know if you met him. I don't really know if you met. I
I
don't
have no
think so.
idea. I have
Maybe you mistake.
Yeah,
Maybe
Sesta.
wrong.
Daniele Sesta. Let's see. Let me see. Pandora. To him.
I believe people in the chat know him.
No, I don't know him.
Yes.
Nope. Nope. Here, Wagmicom. Oh my god. Yeah, what happened to this? Hey, Anan.
Well, I believe it nuked. The token, I believe, nuked. I sold on the way up. It was my size was too little. I would have made like a ton of money because it went like parabolic
My god.
after launch. Everyone was flooding him, and then the launch was like 20x that everyone would like had the chance to get for days and days and days.
Oh my god. So when do we still get? There's no more 20x's right now in crypto. Like it's just so hard.
Yeah, fortunately, yeah, but
Can we
it's
bring
I
back
mean,
the
like
good days?
kind of better because we're already disappointed, so we can't be more disappointed than this. But at the same time, I mean, like I hope honestly that it will become some sort of TradFi on chain where you have some tokens that are gonna be runners for 1 or 2 cycles, and have their own longer cycle, something like that, because it was unsustainable. We all knew it. You can't recycle the same money like tens of hundreds of thousands of times, and like keep expecting the same result. Once the space is saturated,
Sad.
no one is gonna have an edge anymore. So I believe
We need
that
new. We need new exit liquidity. Oh my god. Hey Vincent, how's it going? Oh, my BTC friends. How's good to see some orange in the chat. How's everything? How is dog? How Matt, did you get into runes back in the days?
I saw them. I didn't get into it when when I was trying to understand more. I was lazy. I was lazy. I think I missed a couple of 10x at least.
Yeah,
But
there were some really good runs, but again, like, and it's like at the end of the day, it was so complicated in the beginning. Like, it took us a while to figure out, like, what is it? Fungible tokens on Bitcoin. Like, what is this actually going to be? But that's kind of like the edge that you can get, like when something is, and not for everything, because sometimes if some people decide to make things overcomplicated, and it's not like the barrier of entry means there's outside opportunities there. But it was definitely for the people that were in the know, and that's one thing about crypto. Like, you have to make the effort to go and do your research and get into the right communities and talk to people. The right chat, the right group chat, oh my god, the right group chat can actually literally change your life. Like, everything has to do with the people you're surrounded with. Vincent is saying Matt is right. Liquidity is absent right now, but that's the plan. Most of 99% of crypto may be looming and scared of the market to invest, but 1% always buy in these environments. Always happens in every market. That's true. And true. Buy the bottom and sell the top. So let's see. Oh my god,
or do
BTC
the
below
or do the
6.
opposite, and you're in the 90% of the people that are losing, like
Yeah.
me.
No. Oh my
Like,
god,
keep
guys.
selling the bottom.
BTC is back under 69. Oh. No. Guys.
This is sailor buying.
This is, yeah. What's his average buy price right now? Can somebody look it
Well,
up?
I think
We're not
I
too
think
far. It
above
should be
it.
like here somewhere.
I think it's Zana. I believe is up. Is higher.
No, he's not. I don't think he's underwater. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't recall correctly, but let's see average price.
Can someone look it up?
Average.
Or yeah, if you wanna. Mr. Fokrel is saying, I wasn't done DCing, so I generally hope it goes back in the low 60s. That's the spirit. Only strong thing is hype. Yeah, guys, can we talk about hype? Like, that coin is just doesn't give a fuck. Like, they just don't give a fuck. Look at this. Just going for it. Just going for it. Yeah, his,
Yeah, around entry price be between 66 and 75K.
yeah, 75. Ooh, okay. Let's
Yeah,
put
I
him on the
told
charts.
you. Is likely more underwater than profit.
Wait. Well, he always, we're not getting those tweets anymore where he hints at buying more Bitcoin that much. But I think the thing is, he has to. He has to. Like, he cannot stop. He's the new Bitcoin Jesus, you know?
Oh yeah, the only thing that is strong now is hype. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true. I bought almost the bottom, but
nice.
I didn't buy more. That sucks.
Well,
That
your profit
sucks.
is profit. So,
Profit is profit,
yeah.
but you see, if it's on €1, it's not count. Does not count as profit.
Like, 1 euro, don't even bother. 1
Depends if
euro,
your
no.
size is size.
Yeah. Maybe if for meme coins, like 1 euro, but still at the end of the day, 1 + 1 + 1. If you put 1 euro every day, you end up with 30 euros in a month. That's something. You can play leverage, increase your position size, and then go in with a heavier bag and pray. And just pray that it keeps going up or in the direction that you're choosing. But yeah, this is interesting here. Yeah. Oh my god. Let's see other coins. ETH. My god. I'm going to ETC next week. It's gonna be interesting to see the vibe. How
That will be nice. It's lots of people are going to ECC. Most of the people skipped Denver this year to
yeah,
go to
right.
ECC.
too much, and also like the altitude and everything is just, it's there's no direct flight
Oh
from
yeah, that,
places.
that was crazy. My nose started dripping blood when I was there last year because I have
My
a
God,
sensible nose.
shit.
Yeah, so it was crazy. Like I was like, what's happening? Then I started talking to a few friends, and they said, "Oh, let you know that we are like more than a thousand meters above sea level." And I was like, "What? What?" And then like, yeah, I realized it, and like I said, "Okay, it's fine because less oxygen, and everything makes sensible noses, drip blood." It's
Yeah, it's crazy.
was a scary one. Was a scary one, to be honest.
Yeah, my God, especially if you don't know what's happening and stuff, like that's insane. So yeah, let's see. I mean, I'm based in Dubai, so inshallah, they our flights
Yeah,
leave, because you never know. It's been a couple of weeks of a bit of an intense
yeah. You're
situation
speed
here.
running, training for the army,
I
like
am.
because you're.
I feel like I've adapted. I have adapted. Like a couple of nights ago, I think it was. I can't even tell time anymore. But if maybe last week or a few nights ago, a building in my neighborhood, literally like 5 minutes walk, was hit, and it woke me up
Curly.
like at like 3 in the morning. It was so loud. Um, but went outside, went to see. Police was there. They put out the fire. All good. Everything was contained. Back to sleep. Go the next day, okay. And then the next morning, saw a drone being taken down by a helicopter from my balcony. I was literally on the phone with a friend, telling her that she shouldn't worry. It's all good. We're safe. I literally see like a drone flying in front of me. It's kind of crazy. But the thing is that the situation that they're showing on the news is really not reflecting what reality is like. Like, things are operational as usual. Things are just, they're functioning in Dubai. Restaurants are open. Of course, hospitality is really struggling right now, and it's really sad to see. There's a lot of really amazing places that
Yeah,
unfortunately rely on tourism and a really high inflow of people, which are not coming through. So there's some places where it does feel a little bit more empty. But if you go to the beach, it's packed. Beach clubs on the weekends are also packed. Like, life just keeps on going, and most of the missiles are being intercepted. So there isn't really, besides the, I guess, like, it's not as traumatic as other places. Far from that. I do have to admit, like, we're a bit on alert. Obviously, like, every time you hear a loud bang, you turn around and you look up and you're like, oh, what's happening? But you know there's so far it's been very chilled in a sense. It's more, the tough part is more like talking to friends and family that aren't here and that are worrying for you, and trying to explain to them that, like, we're really okay. And because they're looking at the news that shows, burning buildings, and yeah, there may be like a small fire at some point, but it takes like 10 minutes for police and fire department to come in and take everything down, and manage the situation. So, but this they don't show. News relies on clicks and ads. So there's definitely things that are being blown out of proportion. So yeah, but airspace is like closed, open, on and off. So let's see. Hopefully
yeah,
my flight leaves and I get to go to Cannes.
yeah. I saw also that they announced they were moving to Token 2049 Dubai to next year.
Yeah, it makes sense. It
I mean,
makes
yeah, it's of course it makes sense because yeah, you can't actually like build something right now there like a conference.
it's
But
tough.
yeah, some of my friends told me that live in Dubai. Lots of my Italian friends and non-Italian friends are in Dubai at the moment, and they said, yeah, it's chill. There are some loud bangs sometimes, and you know, some places there is people that fears for their lives because there are missiles or drones incoming. But overall, they're still living their life without major disruptions.
Yeah, and there's definitely that divides from, there's people that panicked and got really scared. I mean, the day that the first days there were people sleeping in the garage and the parking in my building. Like I could, literally camping in on the ground. And I get it. You can't really blame them for being afraid, but there's a point where you have to look at facts, and reality is that the chances of you getting hurt are very little, and very, very little, where most of it is being intercepted. And so it's like at the end of the day, you look at facts and you're hurting yourself more by being afraid and choosing to stress and stay in fear and spread that, because fear is a virus which will spread to other people, and you're going to contage people around you if you start stressing about something that you think might happen. And I think that's something that people don't realize when they give into this, that ultimately they're hurting themselves more. Stress is a silent killer. It has a direct effect on your body, creates chronic illnesses. It's definitely, it's not an easy situation, I'm not gonna lie, but you can make it easy for yourself and worse. And I think this is a choice that people need to make, of course, for themselves. But for myself, I always decided to stay chill, and life carried on, and, going out, and we're alert, and, let's see. Hopefully it gets resolved soon. Yeah, it's surreal, to be honest. Surreal. I never thought I would find myself in a war situation, like seeing shit fly and explode, and I don't know, but it's the best place to be in a war zone in the world is Dubai. It's still safer than most countries and cities in Europe at the end of the day. Like I still feel like fine, to be honest. If you like, look at Switzerland. Switzerland is having like a series of really like horrible things happen. Like it was like the Constellation that burned fire during New Year's Eve. They've had a guy set himself on fire and blow up a bus. Bunch of people died.
What?
Like, all the avalanches. There's like a ski egg, what do you call them, that fell down yesterday. Like one person died. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? There's less people like dying in Dubai than like in Switzerland in the recent times. You know what I mean? For a shit like this. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully at the end of the day, hopefully this gets resolved. It's not an ideal situation, but it is what it is. Like you have to stay safe. And yeah, I appreciate you guys in the chat. Yeah, obviously being alert, but life needs to go on, right? Like it's still like pretty chill here. Hopefully my flight leaves tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week, and I get to see people in Cannes. We're going like a bit, I know, over time. I just want to say thanks. This was like a really very interesting conversation. I think it's a such an exciting time, honestly, to see stocks coming on chain and seeing companies like xStocks. I was going to say StockX, but I said xStocks. Partner with Nasdaq and really moving things forward, and giving opportunities in the market when things seem like it's tough. Always look where things are moving. There's always a bull market somewhere. There's always opportunities. Look at trading stocks on chain, like Matt was saying. There's arbitrage opportunities. There's a lot of things that you can still do. You can earn yield on your stocks. And so on. So yeah, this is I'm glad we had a chat. And also don't forget that we have xStocks has a, where is it? Why did I close it? You guys have a point system. Why did I close let me just bring it up again. Point. Here it is. So you guys have a point system. So again, farming opportunities. Also, I have a ref link. I'm gonna post it here again.
I expect you to go at least in the 5 fix range for X points.
Let's go.
I don't expect less from you.
Mike is saying, how can we point max? He wants a point max.
I already said it.
Quickly, briefly.
Just leverage on Camino. Leverage on Camino.
Easy. Just go leverage on Camino. Easy peasy. Get those points. Use my ref link. Oh wait, it's not the correct one. Oh my god, one sec. Hi,
What's the right one? What's the right one?
Ah, perfect. Yeah, use the one that Max just shared. Use my ref link. You get 20% off permanently. No, a boost. Sorry, not off. A boost, point boost permanently. Yeah, go use my ref link, and hopefully you get lots of points, and we make bank with xStocks and get to trade new stuff on chain and yeah, participate in the new wave and the new era of DeFi, which I'm super excited that there's still stuff. There's always opportunities. So cool. Matt, I'm gonna let you go because I know you have it's been a really busy day. But I really appreciate you for coming through, and I hope to see you at Eat Milano. If you come to Eat CC in Cannes, let me know. And yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys
we will catch up there. I'll be there.
at Eat CC,
Yes, yes, we are
perfect.
having an hackathon with xStocks as well. So we were gonna have
Oh,
like more than 60 people joining us, multiple teams trying to build cool stuff on xStocks. So that will be definitely something I'll be at.
okay, sick. Send the event link. We'll share. We'll be there, and yeah, it would be cool. Mike is saying online hackathon would be awesome.
Then maybe in the future we'll see, but like one in the occasion of ECC is definitely dope.
Nice. Mr. Focarello is saying any insider info that we can take advantage of, Matt, for your fellow Italian supporters, including me.
I can't give insider info, so otherwise they will fire me.
Well, we'll chat on the side. We'll figure it out.
I can't get fired now. Now that I'm losing money on my trades, I
No.
can't. Like if I start gaining, then I can think about it. But now I see it difficult.
No. We have to keep you winning. We have to keep you winning. All right. Well, we'll see you in Cannes. Super pumped for honestly for the future of crypto and everything that you guys are bringing forward. Definitely something that a couple of years back people would have never imagined. Like we said, one broker just got sued. Now we're finally in a place where things are converging and everything is moving on chain, right? Like tokenize everything.
Yeah.
So really excited, and yeah, I'll see you in Cannes. Thanks for joining and chat everybody. Mike, Toxic, Hilson, Max. Thanks for joining. Hope you guys learned
Thank you,
something.
fellas.
Thanks for all the
Thank you, Cami.
questions. Thank you. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao ciao.